here we go. This is the start of a very, very long story. The story of a Bosmer. His name is Thandis Brassiel. He was born in the imperial city of Cyrodiil, raised by his father and also a Bosmer, and his mother. His father was a guard, and because of that, poor Thandis had a very boring life. Didn't really get up to much mischief because his father knew all the guards and knew exactly every trick in the book before Thandis had any chance to pull it. And it basically made him a bit angry because he never really got the chance to take risks or, make his own mistakes, except for one unfortunate time as a child where he ran out the Imperial City and got attacked by a wolf and was given a scar. This scar was a permanent, basically, reminder that his father said, you're not ready and you're not gonna be, the man you want to be. And the man he wants to be is basically, he admires the hero of Kravach. He sees that someone who had impossible odds, who stood up against it, and, he basically idolizes the man. And the second man he idolized would be Tiber Septim. He really, really appreciates that guy and saw how, the one man that can change the world type of thing. And he hopes to be that way, Because of all this, he tries to have a good idea of justice. He tries to, do what's right and all that other thing, but, he's pretty young and he strays off the path, He will refuse to steal anything he knows is owned by someone else unless it's an absolute necessity, like it's about survival. Absolutely doesn't mind murdering people he sees as evil. He'll do that in a second, and he won't really care for the argument, well, if you kill evil, how does that stop you from being evil? He'll probably, think about killing you for making such an argument, saying that, good can't triumph over evil. He might suspect you. As you can tell, so he's a little bit pompous, thinks a bit too much of, maybe idealistic is a better word, thinking that his path is a true path. So that's just a little bit about him, and you're going to find out more as the story plays, He does like to have a bit of a sense of humor. He's not too serious, but, wouldn't mind playing some of the mischief every so often, having some fun when he can. Once again, he's, one of his idols, became, Daedric Prince of basically mischief. So you can appreciate how he can have that attitude, even though he wants to be a hero. So you'll find out a little bit more about how he, what he does in certain situations. He doesn't like being ordered around. That's one thing he despises. Having the upbringing he did, he thinks, he's all about freedom, in basically all contexts. So should be an interesting little dilemma he comes into when he meets up with the Civil War people. Does he go for righteous order or does he go for freedom? Both, and even though the people who are freedom are quite bigoted and hateful, he won't. Thandis Brassiel, is a humble Bosmer. One thing you should know about him is he actually did pick up an unfortunate discovery that, some of his forefathers did, that, cannibalism makes him a lot stronger. As he was traveling from Cyrodiil to Skyrim, as he was running away from his father, trying to carve his own past, and at one point he was starving and he found a dead body on the, out in the forest, and he felt compelled to eat it. And once he did that, he had his own god speak to him and basically go, I want you to do it like a man from now on. So now when his god commands it to hunt for a particular animal, Thandis will be compelled to follow his god's command. And hopefully he feels like he'll be rewarded in the end. So he won't murder anyone that just to eat, but he might eat someone who he has murdered. You know, if that makes any sense. Right now, you just, as I am just kind of give you an introductory so you can see what I'm doing. You know, I'm gonna make it expert difficulty, and if it's, you know, too hard, I might have to turn that down. I'm just going to set some of the other effects. As you can probably see, I've got quite a few mods added to this game. I think the approximate number's around 58. This may lead to my downfall. I don't know how it's going to look. The visuals are looking alright right now. But as I said, right now I'm just making it so that, you know, it's a bit more realistic. So if I have a horse, you know, he's going to be carrying shit. You know, it's going to be a cowardly horse, of course. Of course. And, you know, make it so the horse follows, unless I guess can demand it not to. I really hope I can. If I can't, I'll fix it up. You know, give them a follower, some horse AI. You know, this is just one of those things that is somewhat boring. And that's why I'm cutting out some of this, not because I want to be tricking anyone, but because I want my intro video to be less than 10 minutes long, and I'm already at the 6-minute mark. Next one was Deadly Dragons, which is just more or less, you know, deciding how powerful I want the dragons to be, all that other stuff. I do want the dragons, you know, at the start to be vanilla difficulty, but I want them to be close to the ground. Once again, this might be slightly unrealistic, but I want it to be more playable at the start. You know, as I get stronger, I want to add in the 2 or 3 dragons and have a real epic battles. But until I'm prepared for that, I think it's safer to stay close to vanilla style playthrough. And I'm going to continue skipping on until I get to something more interesting. So let's move on. Now this is one I was torn between, like how hard should it be to make him hungry or thirsty or whatever. And I'm thinking, you know, he's travelled a fair bit and he's learned how to, you know, go without hunger for a while, so I want to make it as fair as possible. I tested out it's maximum 7. I think going slightly below the default would be totally fair. If that's still too much, I might take it back. Fatigue, I want to keep at 1 just because I think it's more interesting that way. You know, there'll be times when, like, if you don't sleep within a day, like, it'll activate certain events, and I want that to happen. That I want to keep in mind, and I can't tell you about those until it happens. But that's just something I thought I would keep in mind. I won't take out the salt requirement for food, just because I think they should be used purely for our chemical research. And I think adding the food modifier thing makes it challenging enough already without always having to find salt, especially because it uses a whole damn bowl of salt, and who uses that for one meal? You use a sprinkle, even if you're salting food to keep it fresh. Anyway, so that's that, and we'll move on from there too. Okay, so that's all my settings for now. They may change as I continue playing this game. I'm pretty excited for this. This should be a fun roleplay.
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall begin.
Considering my character,
The woods can be so peaceful this time of year. Good hunting.
Considering my character, you know, has been traveling from Skyrim and he's a wood elf, I thought it would only be reasonable for him to go from, you know, go start in the woods. Anyway, thanks for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed my adventure.